Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Volume 9 of our Songwriter sessions here at Wilson Valley Mercantile. We'll be talking with Drew Preston and our host, Ely Buck Davis, for the upcoming Songwriter Roundup at Wilson Valley Mercantile on October the 2nd. Thanks, y'all. Drew, Ely, thank y'all for joining us today. Been looking forward to this next roundup coming up on October 2nd. Got the date right that time, first time. So tell us what you've been up to lately, Drew. What's been going on in your world, and tell the world about it.
It's been wild and crazy. I've only been a songwriter for a little over a year now. I've been somebody's drummer for 35 years, and about 7 years ago, I opened Craftsman Recording. Been working in the studio, and a little over a year ago, I lost my father, and just before he passed, he said, "Don't think that you're off the hook. You promised me an album." And so it's like, okay.
Wow.
And so I started writing, and have been blessed to have a lot of great friends and colleagues and mentors here in Austin that have sort of helped bring me along. And I have my first EP coming out at Halloween.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
I've got 3 EPs coming out over the course of a year, and they'll all be put together as a 12-song album with a couple extra songs thrown in right about this same time next year. Yeah,
Nice.
it's been a fun road. I owe my success over the last year to a lot of the folks in this town. I couldn't do it by myself.
I want to mention, John, how I met Drew. I believe you were running sound at a place in Georgia.
Barrels and
Amps. Okay. And so John and I actually were working on doing a festival here, and we ran into a situation. We have a normal sound guy, and something happened. I think he had to take a job somewhere else. But anyway, last minute we were looking for a sound guy, and my brain was like, I remember this sound guy from Barrels and Amps. It was amazing. And I actually called Barrels and Amps. I was like, who is the guy? I was like, well, he's not here anymore, but his name was Drew Preston. So I looked you up, and I asked Drew a couple other times about being a sound guy. He's like, look, I appreciate you asking me about being a sound guy, but I'm also a songwriter now, and I'm doing this. I was like, okay, so we got to get you on the roundup sometime. So that's how we ended up here.
Yeah, that time at Barrels and Amps really allowed me to see the industry in Austin, sort of get to know people like yourself and lots of others that have sort of helped me along the way. Yeah, I was running sound there and running sound at El Mercado down on South First Street.
Oh, well.
And that's where I've met almost everybody that I work with now. But yeah, Barrels and Amps, so sorry. See ya.
Yeah.
They're out of business now. It's really terrible because that was a great venue.
It really was.
Well, I never made it there. I heard a bunch of people talk about it, but I never made it there.
It was a great room. It looked like the old dance halls from the early 90s, where it was tall ceilings and big chandeliers. And yeah, it was a good room.
Well, I'm glad you're doing your own thing now, and I'm glad that you're writing songs and you have these new projects coming out. But I wish there was more sound guys like you and our good friend Stephen Perez, because a lot of them out there are kind of intimidating. You know, I've been in the business long enough now. I'm a little better about it, but I used to be kind of scared of those guys.
Yeah,
Especially those German sound guys down in New Braunfels. Man, they will make me sweat.
I was told that I wasn't a real sound guy because I didn't cuss at the artist. And so my thought was, I know what it's like to be on that stage. I don't want a mean sound guy.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And so my job was to make your life a whole lot easier. And evidently that's rare amongst the sound industry. But
It is, but I appreciate you starting that standard. Maybe some other people will fall in line.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't think the sound guy that normally runs sound here at the distillery has ever cussed you out. At least
You know what?
on stage.
You know what? That's my bad. I should have also thrown Mr. John Evans in that mix of the good sound guys. So he's very patient. He does call me a diva every now and then, but other than that,
Because you are a diva every now and then.
well, everybody needs their moment. So
Well, let's circle back into some questions here. And so, sounds like the big inspiration for your music that you've been writing is your father, at least. Are there other inspirations out there that push you to want to write this or that, or talk about that for a minute?
usually it's life. My dad was a high school band director for 60 years, and he was 93 when he passed last March. And it was, I wanted to be an astronaut, and no, you must be a musician. We can't have you making money. And so it's, I went to college for 2 bachelor's degrees in music and a master's in record production, and I didn't have a choice in the matter. Thank God my wife's a nurse, otherwise I'd be on the street. But big inspirations for me, life in general. My kids are both in their 20s, so them going through high school and going off on their own has a lot to do with it. My music is a lot about inspiration without being religious. It's about, like, one of my songs is called Keep Going. We've all got that stupid moment in life where we've done something so stupid and everybody knows that we've done it, and we still have to get up the next morning and face those people and keep going with life. And the song is just about, you know what? You just got to know that tomorrow is going to be another day. So just take a deep breath and keep going. And, you know, that there's that song. There's Put a Map in My Hand. Both of these songs are going to be on the EP coming up in Halloween. Put a Map in My Hand, I wrote the day after the 2020 presidential election, because there was just so much fear being put out through the news and whatnot, regardless of which side you're on. There was just lots of fear. And so I was driving to Dallas for a doctor's appointment, and the words started coming to me, somebody please put a map in my hand, because I don't know where tomorrow's going to take me. And it's a gospel song, but it's not religious. It's more of that, what the heck is going on? I feel like I don't even know where my road leads tomorrow. Help. It's that type of song. And so, you know, a lot of my inspiration comes from life. Musically, I'm extremely inspired by people like Tom Waits, John Prine, an artist here in Austin, Pat Byrne, major influence for me. There's a band out of New Zealand, the Paper Kites. They have a way of using country and making it sound almost new wave. It's almost atmospheric. They use steel guitar. They use steel guitar in an ethereal way, where it just sort of takes you off of the drum beat and all that stuff, and it's like the stuff you would expect to have when you're getting a massage. It's that type of stuff.
Note to self: need to listen to the Paper Kites.
Yeah, it's all of it is groove and vibe, but it's very folk like. It was just very. Whenever I came across it, I was like, "Who is this? I got to know who this is." And it's been a huge inspiration for me as far as thinking outside the box. I don't have to sound like I'm from Texas all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. And, you know, I grew up in a small rodeo town outside of Dallas. And so there's a lot of country influence. So I try real hard not to have it.
Yeah.
But I can start singing opera, and all of a sudden I've got opera with a Western twang. And yeah, it's pretty bad. It's in my DNA.
Yeah. Well, so are these going to be, is this a DIY project? Because I know you have your own studio. And you're well equipped with all that stuff and the knowledge. So are you doing this yourself, or are you working with a different studio and a producer?
No, it was my wife's idea. My wife came to me and said, "You're having a heck of a time trying to do it yourself, because I can't wear my producer hat and my artist hat and my engineer hat at the same time. I'm just not that talented." And so Chris Beal from the South Austin Moonlighters has produced. He's producing the 3 EPs, and we recorded everything at Warm Audio Studios over in Cedar Park, and that place is amazing. I was thoroughly entertained by the huge amounts of access to different instruments and different microphones and all kinds of stuff. I thought I had a lot of stuff here at Craftsman. Wow. They have anything and everything you could possibly want to do your album with.
They have a good keyboard room.
They have a 9-foot Yamaha Grand in their live room.
Yeah.
And two of my songs were supposed to be acoustic guitar leading the way.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I said, hold on a second. I sat down and I started playing, and I was like, these songs are now piano songs. And over the course of that day, we rewrote the songs to be piano based. Because, I mean, if you've got a 9-foot Yamaha sitting there, you do not, under any circumstances, not use it.
Exactly.
And they have a real B3 with a Leslie right next to it.
Oh, man, that's cool.
And they've got a DW drum set in case you want to use their kit. They have an entire wall of guitars from Gibson, anything and everything. Thunderbird basses, 3 or 4 different types of Les Pauls. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything you'd ever want.
I've always thought if I won the lottery or something, or got my hands on a bunch of money, I would like to have a studio based mainly on your top keyboard, you know, the B3, the Hammond, the Rhodes, a good Grand, and just learn how to mic those instruments to the max, where, you know, there's nice studios all over Austin, but they don't always have the luxury of having that keyboard room, you know. And so having that space for, you know, say you were at this studio and they had amazing everything, but you wanted this certain keys, they could call me up and like, hey, can we come throw down some keys on this and that, and then add it to, you wouldn't be able to do it live, obviously, if you were wanting to do a live mix, but if you were just wanting to do overdubs or whatever,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, here at Craftsman, try to turn this. I'm currently in our Songwriter suite, and our Songwriter suite's got an upright Studio Grand
Nice.
that was made in 1909. It was the piano that I learned to play on. It was my grandmother's, and
Nice.
it was willed to me, and we sort of built the Songwriter suite around it. It's got that honky-tonk quality, so if you're wanting that bar room piano, and we figured out exactly the best way to mic it, and the mics are actually permanently in there, so all we got to do is just plug them in and go.
Oh, nice.
And then in our live room, we've got a Korg SV2, which is the old analog tube-powered electric piano from Korg.
Wow.
That I have never played a keyboard that sounds like that. It has the touch that one does, and there's something about it going through the tube that it warms everything and gives that 70s quality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a few other synths and modules and stuff like that here, but there's only so much we can fit in the room.
Yeah.
We're confined by not having a very large space. We're kind of like the old Motown studios, low ceiling, small room, but it's big enough to put a 5-piece band in and record live.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Well, while we're talking about keys, John actually has a piano already mic'd up on the stage in the tasting room, so you're welcome to play that when you come next Thursday.
It's nothing as nice as what you have there, though.
It's been tuned.
It was free to me until I went to pick it up.
As long as it's fully integrated and has the black keys and the white keys, we're great.
It has both.
I went to a place the other day that I don't think they'd cleaned the keyboard, and so it was kind of black and gray.
Yeah. That's funny.
So what's you mentioned a little bit about your EPs and album and everything coming across the next year. What else is going on in the future for you, or is that pretty much consuming you at this point?
Well, that has been the last couple months. We recorded everything in July, and it's just sort of been putting the final touches on it over the last couple months, and it's now done, and we're in the marketing process now, getting everything printed and whatnot.
Oh, that's the fun part.
Yeah. Except for the fact that somebody told me I had to go and take a photo session, and God knows people don't want to see this. I mean,
hey, just use an AI image.
I was thinking about. I tried that. They told me I couldn't.
Oh,
I had this cool AI thing of, it was a guy walking down the road and there's storms off in the distance. I mean, it was just perfect. It fit perfectly. And they were like, "Did you get that off AI?" Yes. You can't use that.
I was totally joking, by the way. I'm like anti-AI not anti-AI, but anti-AI for, for artistic purposes.
Well, yeah. And once some of the photographers that I talked to told me their feelings about that, I was like, okay, I'm with you. I understand. Because we as musicians are getting replaced every day by AI. And let's face it, somebody today just made a statement that AI is going to impact every job across the world within the next 10 years. And with us, people don't have to have us. They really don't. They want to have us. And if AI can give them the same thing for free, we're all in danger. And I completely understand that going towards photography and art and all that stuff, and it makes sense to me. So
I don't want to harp on it forever, but it just made me think of what I've been seeing going around lately, and I've talked with some of my other friends, musician friends, that have seen the same thing. But I've been seeing people I'm trying to figure out how to say this without it sounding bad, because people are going to be watching this. But I've seen people from my hometown, they use AI and they put in, okay, write a song about my hometown and make it like a pop song or a rap song or a pop country song. And it dumps it out for them, and they share it, and everybody comments and shares it and says, what a great song, and this and that. And the song is obviously AI, like there's no meaning behind it or anything. And it's a little disturbing to me, because then you see people that put out their heartfelt art, and it's like it doesn't resonate or something where it should,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm just being a little butthurt about that. But when I see that kind of stuff, I'm just like, well, it obviously was not done by a real person, And but anyway, I've talked to my other friends about that. Oh yeah, here's one from my hometown, and it's literally the same song. They just changed the town or the mascot or whatever, and it's like Anyway, I digress. Don't get me started on that.
I was trying one out when somebody first introduced it to me, and I said, I want a red dirt country song talking about life, leaving you in the ditch and your roadkill. And I mean, I was trying to be just as absurd with it as possible. And it shoots out this thing that sounds like I just heard it off the radio.
Wow.
Talking about my roadkill heart. And I was like, I would have never thought about that. And then I started really listening to the lyrics, and the lyrics just go around in circles.
Yeah.
They don't actually ever say anything.
Yeah.
And if you've ever taken a songwriting class, you're thinking, this is totally wrong. There is nothing about this that should actually be written together. And then you're like, okay, it's AI. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the vocal sounds like it's actually like 3 or 4 vocals on top of each other because it's kind of in and out of sync. But it's scary what they could do. And that was 3 or 4 years ago. So, yeah.
It's weird.
So, Ely, how do you
It
feel
is.
about AI? I'm just curious. I can't tell.
I'm sorry.
Are you
You're
for it?
probably
It sounds
gonna
like
have
you
to
really
go
like
like 30 minutes out. I don't know how long I ranted about that. But
it. It wasn't that long,
Okay.
and
I
it wouldn't be the
could
first
go
time
all
I've
day.
got something you said. So, well, Drew, tell us what's something that you'd want to with your, I guess, recent songwriting experience. What would you want to share with somebody who is starting out that you've learned in the last, I guess you said year, right?
Yeah. First of all, write what you know. Write about real life. Don't try to be overly poetic if you're not an overly poetic person. Don't try to be, one of my very best friends in the world, I get to play drums in her band, is Taylor Graves. Amazing songwriter. But her songwriting style and my songwriting style, we could never collaborate because she has this unbelievably poetic viewpoint on life. And here I am over here with Tom Waits and John Prine just going, this is what happened. That's what she looked like. Da 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 da. And the thing is that people like them both.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
People listen to hers. The type of people that like her music also will turn around and listen to mine and go, yeah, that's really cool too. They don't always have to be exactly the same. So don't feel like you have to write like a certain person. Write what you know.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with
I like
that.
it.
Yeah. I love that you said don't be over poetic if you're not that poet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like saying keep Austin weird. Like I'm all about people being weird if you really are weird, but you don't have to be weird. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't have to
Yes.
pretend to be weird just to fit in with it. Like if you're weird, that's great. I'm weird, but you don't have to pretend to be weird. John's agreeing with that.
I said nothing.
Just be you. Yeah. I'm just basically saying what you said. But
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, I have a hashtag that I apply to all of my posts online, and it goes with a lot of my emails, and it's hashtag support fat musicians. And yes, I am 290 pounds. I'm also 6'4", so I carry it well. Thank you. But yeah, it's not about being fat or thin or anything like that. It's more about don't try to look like Taylor Swift. If you are a redhead and glasses and something else, be you.
Sure.
And we as a populace have to start supporting people regardless of what they look like whenever they try to put their art out there. Everybody has a place for their art, and everybody has a place to exist. And I'm a firm believer in if we could all support more fat musicians that don't look like the norm, that their music is a little bit different from what you're used to, stuff like that. Those people need to be supported as well.
Yeah.
And my other big statement to new musicians is allow yourself to think outside the box. Allow yourself to be you musically, as far as lyrically, how you dress on stage. If you want to wear, my favorite band is Rush, I have to say. And so there was a time period where Rush wore Japanese kimonos on stage. It lasted about half a year. And then they went back to jeans and T-shirts, and it made a lot more sense. And you look at Michael Jackson. He went through the parachute pants phase, and then he went to the sequin suits, and then he went to the military uniform. I mean, he had all kinds of different things because they always went with where he was mentally and where he was musically. Taylor Swift, I made comment about her. Taylor Swift always changes her look just a little bit to fit her era of different things that's going through, and I applaud her for that. She goes full into who she is at the moment, and I think if more artists could apply themselves, one, they'd be happier. Two, I think the world would see that we don't all have to look or act the same. And three, I think we'd all have a viewpoint out there that would hit everybody. Because if my daughter just finished her degree in photography, and the reason why she went into photography was she wanted to work in media, showing people that weren't in media when she was in high school. She's 5'10". She's blonde, she was a dancer. but she felt inside that she was awkward. She felt inside that she was just a little bit different from what she saw on the mass media marketing. And so she wanted to make a magazine for people that they didn't get to see themselves in the mass media marketing. I think as musicians, we all need to approach it that way.
Yeah.
Just be yourself and stop trying to be somebody else.
I agree. John, I think
Good way to look at it. Good way to be.
I think my wife is going
Go
to
ahead.
really love this episode because Taylor Swift got mentioned like 4 times already.
Yeah, you think Gracie will be happy about that?
Oh yeah, she called me the other day when her and Travis Kelce got engaged, and she was screaming, crying on the phone, and I thought someone had died. I was like, what has happened? Has someone been in a wreck or something? She's like, no, they got engaged. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm happy for her, but damn, it scared me.
Okay, so I have to confess, confessions happen on these podcasts all the time. So I was born and raised outside of Dallas. So, of course, I've spent most of my life with a star on the helmet, and I still am a Dallas Cowboy fan. But you'll notice that's a Texas Tech logo.
Yeah, I noticed.
So Patrick Mahomes is, like 2 steps shy of Jesus. And so I've been a Chiefs fan ever since he went there. And so Travis Kelce, I became a Taylor Swift fan by way of Travis Kelce. So yeah, I kind of had the same reaction. I didn't cry, but I was like,
Come on, you shed some tears. Go ahead and admit it, Drew.
Well, okay, so I shed a couple tears simply because that meant that, Travis Kelce was probably going to retire. That's why I was crying. Yes. Or at least that's all I'm going to say about it.
And that's all I have to say about that. All right. Well, I think we're running up here just about on time. So, Ely, you got anything else that you wanna showcase for Drew or no?
No, just look forward to seeing you again, and look forward to swapping songs with you.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We can talk more about
Be a
AI
fun night at
here,
Wilson
too.
Valley Mercantile.